Hey there, fight fans. Welcome back to another episode of the Ranch Boxing Podcast. I'm your host, Fernando Robles. All right, this week on the show, we have a card from the T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada, the big show for the weekend. Saturday, February 21st, Mario Barrios putting up his 147-pound welterweight championship against Ryan Garcia, who always seems to get a title shot no matter what happens. Also, there's a few other prospects in action and another title fight in that we'll gloss over a little bit later. Also, we're going to be reviewing the Zuffa third card, Z03. And then maybe we'll see what's going on with Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz and Golden Boy. Everything's just becoming a mess in that department. All right, let's start at the beginning here, man. This Saturday, February 21st, from the T-Mobile Arena. It's live on DAZN pay-per-view. I don't really think that this is it doesn't rise to the level of pay-per-view, but what do I know, man? I'm just a consumer. I'm just a fan. I'm just the one spending my hard-earned money out here, and these people are just giving me mediocre fights, mediocre matchups. The card is okay. I would liken it to an old school boxing after dark type of fight, maybe a level of a world championship boxing, since there is a championship on the line. But let's talk about the fight here, because it's an intriguing fight. It's actually pretty fascinating. There may be quite on the line for Ryan Garcia. So Mario Barrios, the 147-pound welterweight champion of the world WBC, 29 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, going up against Ryan Garcia, 24 wins, 2 losses. And his last fight against Rolly Romero was an unsuccessful title fight. It just seems like Ryan Garcia, they're trying to anoint him. They're trying to make him a champion, and by any means necessary, it seems. Now, Mario Barrios, I kind of feel bad for Mario Barrios. He's the current champion. They put him up last time against Manny Pacquiao. I think it was a way that they were looking to kind of put up Pacquiao against the champion of least resistance in the 147-pound division. And they came up with Mario Barrios. That was unsuccessful. Barrios got a draw. Barrios has had a draw his last 2 fights. And then now he's going up against Ryan Garcia. Hopefully for Mario Barrios, it's turned into some decent paydays, because Mario Barrios is a flawed fighter. And let's just say he's a hard worker. You can see it in there. I know he works hard. I think he's taken his talent and really parlayed it into something very successful. He does seem to work hard, and he's been getting the job done. I mean, he is the 147-pound welterweight champion of the world. That you can't overlook that. Now over here, you got King Ryan Garcia, who, as popular as he has been over the years, with his Haney drama and all of that talk when he was calling out Tank Davis, ultimately getting smashed by him. He seems to get title shots after title shots. His last fight against Rolly Romero, I thought that was he was in the fast food line at Chick-fil-A. They were just handing out belts. That I thought that was a matchup for him to win a belt and to kind of like establish himself at 147. But it didn't come to be. Rolly Romero had other plans, and now Rolly Romero he got his second championship reign there. So where are we at? Mario Barrios, Ryan Garcia. A lot of questions about this one, and the only person that can answer these questions is Ryan Garcia, and I'm sure as hell not going to take his word for it, because according to Ryan Garcia, everything's always on the up and up, and everything's always hunky dory in the camp. And then later on, something else comes out, or he pops dirty for something. Let's talk about it. Mario Barrios. We can't sugarcoat it. He's not the most talented boxer in the world. Although he is a title holder, he's a belt holder. You can see that he doesn't have the boxing acumen. He doesn't have the talent of a Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is immensely talented, super fast. He's got good hand speed, great left. The only thing is, there's a lot of questions about, is he training? Is he training the right way? Is he training and partying at night? I don't know. Or is he not training and partying at night? A lot of questions here. I have seen him in his living room training and that never I've never liked that look. The last time I saw that was Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Training in his living room, thinking it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's not the gym. If you think you can, if you supplement a workout with a workout in your living room, that's one thing. But if that is your workout, it's just at this level. I'm almost at any level. That's just not gonna work. Even for a boxer as talented as Garcia. And he's not just a talented boxer, he's athletically gifted. Things that Mario Barrios just doesn't have, and things that Ryan Garcia appears to take for granted. I hope he proves me wrong. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's turned a corner. He's getting up to his late 20s now. He might be maturing, but I don't know what's going on in this fight. Mario Barrios, I don't think he's gonna make it an easy fight for Ryan Garcia. He is disciplined. Also, he has Joe Goosen in his corner. Joe Goosen trained Ryan Garcia for a few fights a couple of years ago. I believe he was the trainer with Ryan Garcia when he fought Tank Davis. So there is some, you know, there is some information there that Joe Goosen may have on Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia in those last few years, he might be somewhat of a completely different fighter. And I'm not sure you can all you have to do to get ready for Ryan Garcia is get ready for that quickness, get ready for that talent. And that's if he comes in at prime level. If he comes in the way he did against Rolly Romero, um, I think this is going to be another missed opportunity for him. So what do we have? We have a guy who is disciplined, not exactly super talented, and we got a guy who's super talented, not exactly disciplined. Polar opposites here. So which one is gonna win? Now, when you think about it, history will say like, well, talent goes a long way, and sometimes, I would say most of the time, talent will outshine hard work and discipline. That's the only thing intriguing about this fight. If Ryan Garcia was in shape, if he's disciplined, there isn't even a question in this fight. So what I see happening here, I think Barrios needs to go in there. He can't stand at arm length from him. He can't box Ryan Garcia, even if Ryan Garcia has a bad night or he didn't have a great camp. He can probably get through that obstacle. What Barrios has to do is get in there, get in, get out, get inside, get outside, really try to frustrate Garcia. I would almost even make it dirty just to give Ryan Garcia something to complain about, because Ryan Garcia, from what I see, he is a front runner. And if things aren't going his way, he gets frustrated and he gets anxious, kind of the way Rolly Romero was able to do it. And then Mario Barrios doesn't have a huge power, but he has sent some people to the canvas. So what's going to happen? The way Ryan Garcia has been behaving, even at the press conference, he looked a little unsure. Maybe it's the weight cut. I don't know. This is all contingent on whether or not Ryan Garcia comes in on weight, B, doesn't pop for anything dirty, because when he did pop dirty and came in overweight against Devin Haney, he looked unbelievable. When he came in against David Haney, I thought he was going to get just destroyed, and he came in and he destroyed Haney. But come to find out, he popped dirty and he came in overweight, and they still made concessions, and that ultimately got overturned into a no decision or no contest or something like that. All right, so if Barrios does that, I think he's going to make it a hard day for Ryan Garcia. And if Barrios can get past Ryan Garcia, then he got past, not that he beat, but he got past Manny Pacquiao, and he got by Garcia, and then it just sets him up for yet another payday. If Ryan Garcia comes in overweight, I'm waiting to see if Mauricio Suleiman pulls a rabbit out of his freaking hat, and to salvage the title fight in some way. I don't know what he could do. I'm trying to think about what this guy could do. Mario Barrios is the 147-pound champion. He can't move it up if they move it up a weight, that title's not on the line. I don't know what's going to happen as far as like, is he going to come in on weight? Is he not? He looked a little unsure the other day. He did weigh in over when they were doing weight checks up to the fight. And when they weighed him, I think he was 5 pounds over. That doesn't look good. So everything really comes down to Ryan Garcia. Is he disciplined? Did he train? Did he train the right way? We're gonna find out. We might find out at the weigh-ins if he and how he looks at the weigh-ins, how he looks at the ceremonial weigh-ins, and then we'll see how he does. Barrios, you know what you're gonna get with him. He's gonna go in there. He's gonna work. The thing is, when I think about this, I can't trust Ryan Garcia. I can't trust him. The guy is untrustworthy. Great talent. He's from Victorville, California, or like that area of the high desert. Man, I wish he was just a little bit more disciplined. I wish he was just a little bit more mature. And you would think by now that he would be, but he's never been a champion. He's never held a belt, although he has the star power to, that's kind of exceeded that. I don't think it's fair. I'm gonna go with Mario Barrios, and I may be a little biased here, but it's I'm trying to hide my the disdain for Ryan Garcia, and I don't hate Ryan Garcia. I don't. I actually picked him to beat Rolly, and I actually thought he had a chance against Gervonta Davis, and I thought he was going to get smashed against Haney. I always seem to be wrong about Ryan Garcia. I don't. It's not that I don't like him. It's I'm kind of disappointed in someone like that. He has a lot of talent. He has Golden Boy behind him, and that's a whole nother story. And I just wish he would be more mature on about his career. Mario Barrios, he seems to be on the right track. He's gotten a lot out of his talent, and we'll see what happens in this one. So I'm going to go with Mario Barrios with a unanimous decision. Big thing for Barrios. If he needs to make it out of some early rounds, some tough rounds, and he needs to frustrate Ryan Garcia. He can't let Ryan Garcia get comfortable. He can't let him front run in this. If he does, then Ryan Garcia will coast. And if he thinks he has it in hand, he has to make it a question for Ryan Garcia. He has to get in his head just a little bit. There is a size discrepancy. It's noticeable for me. Barrios is much bigger than Ryan Garcia. So will that have anything to do with it? I don't know. I mean, Tank Davis is much smaller than Ryan Garcia, and Tank Davis smashed Barrios and Ryan Garcia. They have that opponent in common. Tank Davis fought both these guys, smashed both of them, and unfortunately for Tank, he suffers from the same thing as Ryan Garcia, just not mature, doing extracurricular activities that's just getting him into trouble all the time. So for the time being, Tank's beat both these guys, and he doesn't have a fight on the books at all. All right, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to take Mario Barrios. I think he's going to hold on to his title fight somehow, some way. If nothing else, he might hold on to his title by weigh-ins, because Ryan might come in over, or who knows if he's, what supplements Ryan may or may not be on and all that stuff. And he'll always say that he's clean and all that stuff. But yeah, labs don't lie. All right, so let's move on to the undercard. I'm just going to go over these real quick. On the undercard, Gary Antoine Russell, 18 wins, 1 loss, going up against an undefeated Andy Hiraoka, 24 wins, no losses. Also, IBF super lightweight champion Richardson Hitchens, 20 wins, no losses, going up against Oscar Duarte Gerardo, 30 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. Also in action, Frank Martin, 19 wins, 1 loss. Nahir Albright, 17 wins, 2 losses. And there's some other fights on the undercard. So if you have access to DAZN and you're not breaking the bank, or you have another way of watching that, go ahead and check that out Saturday night from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. All right, so let's move on, shall we? I want to talk about on Sunday, last weekend's Z03 Zuffa fight card from the Meta Apex. And it was F.A. Ajagbe getting a TKO over former champion Charles Martin. And actually, Charles Martin looked a lot better in this fight than I thought he was going to until he didn't. So the card itself, it was really good. Ajagbe, it was a decent, he got a knockout. It was a decent main event. But on the undercard, man, if you're interested in seeing technique at work, really good boxers yet flawed, or like learning and kind of like working on their craft from all over the world, people from all over the world. There's a lot of they got a lot of like Russian, Dagestani type ish fighters on these cards, boxers, and they just bring a different style that we don't see a whole lot. And so let's talk about the main event first. So Fa Jogbe, he comes in, and actually he's 21. I think I gave you the wrong thing. He's 21 and 1-1, and then this has the old thing on there. And Charles Martin now 30 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw. So Charles Martin came in, and I thought this was going to be an easy night at the office for a Jogbe. He comes in, and it wasn't as easy as I thought. Charles Martin actually, for me, had some early success. At the time of the stop, it just looked like it was 28-28 on all cards. But then Martin goes down once in round 3, and then he goes down in round 4. And that was all she wrote. A Jogbe, I think he's a good fighter. I think he's got pretty good power. He's not exactly the second coming of Razor Ruddock like the announcers or the commentators made it sound. Actually, it was Max. It wasn't anybody else. It was Max. He made it sound like this guy was Joe Louis, reincarnated. He smashes people. Blah blah blah. Say what you want. Deontay Wilder never had. He's not the best boxer in the world. He doesn't have the best style in the world, but the guy does smash. Now that's real power. That's something that you can say, yep, that he's got that eraser. He's got real power. A Jogbe, I mean, he's got decent power, but nothing like soul crushing. But they made him sound like he was just, like he's got the nuclear weapon codes. Charles Martin, I don't know how much more he's going to try to get out of his career. He's been a champion before. It was a decent fight for as long as it lasted, and it was good to see Fa Jogbe. It's good to see a guy like a Jogbe in Zuffa. So I'm interested in seeing him again at heavyweight, and we'll see if he gets a shot at or if he's one of the people in the mix for the Zuffa heavyweight bout. When they start to roll out belts other than the cruiserweight, which is, we all know that Jaya Bataya is contesting for in a few weeks. On the undercard, there was a guy named Umar Zambekov. It starts with a D, but I think it's Zambekov. 14 wins, no losses, and he went up against Ahmed El Biali. Light heavyweight. El Biali's 24 wins, 2 losses, no draws. And Zambekov just destroys El Biali in 2 rounds. Devastating knockout. This guy looks great at light heavyweight. I think that there was a catch weight of 176 and a half, but he looks fantastic at light heavyweight. I can't wait to see this guy again. People were calling it the knockout of the year. I have to agree, it was a great knockout. Just devastating, man. The guy looks good. I can't wait to see him against better competition. And he's like from Eastern Europe, European countries. Take a look at him, man. Umar Zambekov. And if you're interested in seeing different styles of fights and things like that, great. It's great to see people develop their talents. Also in action, Abel Mejia, lightweight, going up against Jabriel Pay Benito. Mejia, he came in overweight. He was the favorite, and he loses by TKO in the 3rd round. Yeah, in the 3rd round. So Pay Benito, he just came in. Pay Benito is 7 wins, no losses. 2 guys, they were undefeated. One guy was 10-0, one guy was 6-0. Now Mejia is 10-1, and Pay Benito is now 7-0. And things look good for Pay Benito. He came in and he weathered a quick storm. Mejia came in, looked decent, but then Pay Benito took over, dropped Mejia in rounds 2 and 3. And that was all she wrote. Like I said, it's just good to see people work on their craft. And these guys are not superstars, but you can see them working on their stuff. And if you're somebody who goes to the gym and you see all these flaws in your game, these guys, everyone has flaws, and it's good to see how people, even at top levels or a professional level, they're still working out their kinks. Good stuff, man. Another fight on here that I really did like, Antonio Woods, 14 wins, 2 losses now. He was 14-1 at the time of the fight. He lost a decision to Mark Buke. And this was another thing. Woods was favored, and it seemed like it might go there. And Buke, just with hard work, just grinded down and did what he needed to do to win this fight. It was a great fight, man. Check it out. Mark Buke, he is now 13-3. He was the underdog, and then and now he has a win against a decent fighter. One guy I wanted to mention here because he looked fantastic. Who knows how far his ceiling is? I know he has a deep amateur background, and we love amateurs on the show, man. We love people who work their way up through the USA Boxing or the AIBA or whatever it's called now, the Amateur Boxing Associations now for the international. Emiliano Alvarado at super bantamweight. He's 10-0 now, 9-0 at the time of the fight. He wins a TKO win against Devin Gant, who's now goes to 5 wins, 3 losses. So Alvarado, I was watching this fight, and Alvarado has a deep amateur background. So Emiliano Alvarado looked great, but looked flawed. Even having all that amateur experience, he looked like he was working things out, and that's what these fights are for, man. You try to put it all together, even at the professional levels. You're taking these early fights and really just honing your craft and making it professional and kind of getting out of that amateur style. And the same thing that goes for if you're in the amateur rankings. You got to transition, man. You have to transition from working out boxing, from the bags. You transition to sparring, from sparring to competition. It's all a transition, man. And the same thing here. It's good to see that method of work just continues on until you get to you reach your peaks, or you reach the highest levels. So that was a good fight. If you have a chance to see this card replay on Paramount Plus or wherever they might replay it, maybe it's on YouTube or something like that, check it out, man. Especially Emiliano Alvarado, if you're looking for a good like amateur turned pro. I think he's gonna do pretty well. I can't wait to see him again and see how his style and how his career progresses. 10th fight as a pro, he's still knocking people out. I like it. It didn't hurry. He's not like knocking people out in the first round. He did seem to go through a round of adversity. That's all things I like to see, man. I'm almost rather see that than people who just get the easy way, the easy fights. I don't need to see Edgar Berlanga with, 10 knockouts in his first 10 fights, all in the first round. It's not always like that, especially once you get to the highest points. All right, then. So that's that's all we're going to go over on Z03. I can't wait for the next Zuffa. Let's talk a little bit about the Zuffa cards, man, because they get a lot of hate from people. I've seen less hate, which is good, but they still get hate like they're dog shit or something like that, and they really aren't, man. These are good. Right now, I'm liking it to the old Tuesday night fights, Wednesday night fights on USA Network. But it's a little bit more than that, I think. And the so far the production is pretty good, man. The way they move the fights along, you're not waiting at all, man. You're not waiting. We don't have a concert, in between fights. I'm almost cringing about what am I gonna have to go through on Saturday when I'm watching the DAZN card, which is a pay-per-view. So, but this is what I'm saying. I pay for the fight, and then they subject me to things like God knows what, just crazy commentary in between. A little is fine. I like build up the fight. That's fine. But man, when you start getting into some just craziness and concerts and just ridiculous things, I don't need that, man. Give me a fight. Give me some commentary. Give me some build up. Go. And these, when there really is no build up to be had, because these guys are lesser known boxers. Give me an introduction. Give me a quick, this guy's has national champion 4 times. He's done this. He's done that. Let's go. Perfect. Zuffa was not messing around in this one, man. The fights came quick. Less is more. Even Max is never great. Max Kellerman but things just went better. I think he did a little bit better job. I think maybe he's settling down a little bit. Andre Ward, he did another good job, man. He just calls the fight, gives a little bit of opinion, very concise. Good job, Andre Ward. So I'm excited for the next card. I know that there's the Jayo Bataya fight coming up for the Cruiserweight Championship. We'll preview that probably before it starts. But people need to pay attention to what's going on in Zuffa. And Oscar De La Hoya can say, anything he wants about these Zuffa cards, man, because he's really like talking some trash. And I understand that he's got personal things going with Dana White and all that stuff. Uh, but I call balls and strikes. I like Oscar, man. I've always liked Oscar. When I was a kid, when I was young, he was my favorite fighter. But he's wrong about this. Having a platform to fight on is always a good thing. And so far, I don't see anything with the Zuffa cards that suggests that there's shenanigans about or anything like that. If there's any shenanigans happening, it's with the sanctioning bodies and Mauricio Suleiman just going out on the podcast trail, trying to garner some favoritism, coming out with a glove with a crown on it that they're giving out. It's all gimmicky now, man. I almost think that they're pretty desperate now that Shakur's dropped the WBC. Terrence Crawford dropped his WBC and he's out completely. But you know what I'm saying, that they don't want to pay their dues. They feel like they're getting taken advantage of, and I can't disagree with them. And then the WBC doing shenanigans. I could get into the times that they make their mandatories mandatory, and the times that the mandatories get sidetracked, or there's an excuse, or they find ways around it. It always just seems like the WBC in particular, because it's all of them. The IBF less so, but it's all the sanctioning bodies: WBO, IBF, WBA. But they really are overshadowed by the WBC, which is a shame, man, because the WBC is, I do like their belt. I'm not gonna say that I don't. I like it, and I wish the sanctioning bodies would just kind of get it together, because the Zuffa belt is coming out, man. The first one's gonna come out. Win or lose, someone's gonna get the belt on in next month in March when Jai Opataya goes for it, and people could talk crap. I think the belt looks pretty cool. I can't wait to see it, man. I'm excited about these cards and these fights. I wonder how it's going to look when it gets a little bit bigger than the Apex. Like if it's anything like a UFC presentation, it's going to look good. And like I said, they just keep the fights going, man. You don't have to spend forever there doing God knows what. I swear I could grill food in between fights on some of these DAZN cards. So Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, he needs to get it together. Let's move these cards along, man. This is taking way too long. I don't need to wait forever on Saturday night watching a card I'm barely paying attention to, as far as like, or I'll be paying attention, but I'm not super anxious about the fight, Barrios and Garcia. All right. So let's move on to a little bit of rumors, not so much rumors, just the Jerome Boots Ennis, Vergil Ortiz drama. I have said before that I don't think either one of those guys wants this fight. I think Vergil talks. I think Boots talks. Like, they want the fight, but it never happens. Why is it not happening? If it really is up to you, let's go. These guys could fight 3, 5, 10 times. Just, if it's a good fight, it's a good fight. So, it would be at the super welterweight division. I don't know what's taking so long, other than I know that there was a lawsuit. They were trying to make the fight, and Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy, they filed an injunction to keep this fight from getting finalized, from getting done. Now, I don't know all the details, and I don't like to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. I'm sure that Oscar De La Hoya has a business to run. I'm sure he has something that he wants, but he is holding up this fight. Now, he wants something from Matchroom, from DAZN, in exchange for this fight. I don't like that. It's almost like he's bartering with the Vergil Ortiz Boots Ennis fight to get himself, or to get his company something. And yeah, people will say, well, that's the way business is done. Okay, I agree, but it looks bad. I don't like it. It's a bad look. It's a bad look. It's not good for boxing. I wish some of these boxers would watch these contracts, but then again, would they get the contract? I don't know. It's I'm sure it's a double-edged sword, and I'm hoping they are able to get past these problems so that we can see these guys in their prime. I don't need to see another Pacquiao Mayweather. I don't need to see another Spence Crawford, fights that happen well past their prime, well past their expiration date. And then because we'll see these fights well past their expiration date, and then like the winner will say, "See, I beat so and so," and it's like, well, you beat them after their prime. He's like, "Oh, you're always looking for an excuse." Well, the excuse is, man, you didn't fight the person in their prime. Spence is a shell of himself, and I didn't know it back then, but he's a shell of himself. He never. I always had questions about the car accident that he was in, and yeah, sure, he didn't look at all like himself. He hasn't fought since then. He has a fight coming up apparently. This is what I'm hearing. This is what I see, that he's got a fight signed, sealed, and delivered against Sebastian Fundora, the champion at 154. That's another mystery there. A guy who hasn't fought in like 3 years gets a title shot at 154, and he lost his last fight. That didn't just lose, he got destroyed. So there's always these questions. It's always strange. It's the nature of boxing, man. The politics are insane. It seems completely corrupt. It seems hypocritical. So I was hoping that Boots and Vergil got their fights done, and maybe even fought again twice, 3 times, maybe later. Maybe they meet again at 160. I don't know. But it just seems like nobody wants to fight each other, and you don't know who to believe. Everyone says Vergil doesn't want to fight. Boots will beat them. I don't care. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. I just want to see the fight. That's one of the biggest fights in boxing, and they of course, yeah, they can't make it happen. And even when they do try to make it happen, something like Golden Boy filing an injunction on it is like I just said, it's bad for the sport, man. Anyways, I hate to end on that note. I hate to end on a note of like negativity with Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz and Golden Boy and all their drama and stuff like that. So let me not, if you like amateur boxing and you just happen to be in the Phoenix area on Saturday, February 21st. All right, maybe the you don't want to pay for Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios. I agree with you, man. I wouldn't pay for it either if I didn't pay for it all together in a package deal. And because I want to do this podcast, that's the only reason I got the zone. That's the only reason, because I want to do this podcast. And I want to keep up with boxing news as much as I can, even though it pains me sometimes. It pains me, these fights, man. Just terrible. And also because they do give other fights lesser known fights like internationally, like the Brandon Figueroa fight. I think that was on the zone. Brandon Figueroa and the ball guy. God, I forget his name. Anyways, well, Brandon Figueroa won the fight. Good one. And then the Bakram Murtalazaya fight. So things like that. That's another reason why I got it. Just because I want to see those. Anyways, let's end this on a good note. So if you happen to be in the Phoenix area, man, this Saturday, all right, February 21st at Isaac Middle School, it's the first amateur card of the year for LBC 48. That's the Arizona local boxing committee for amateur boxing, USA Boxing. And we're getting the first card of the year. First smoker, Guerra en la Foniquera 3, Isaac Middle School, 3402 West McDowell Road, Phoenix, Arizona. And the weigh-ins are at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And you have to be pre-matched, so don't just go there try to get a fight. All these things are pre-matched. And the doors open at 12 p.m. First bout at 1. And they got 25 pre-made matches. Probably, it changes. Sometimes people show up, sometimes they don't. So anyway, it's going to be probably somewhere between 19 and 25. And admission is $20. And $20 goes to, whoever's putting it on. Now, I don't know if this is going to be streamed at all. You might want to check that out. I do have a YouTube thing here that says Vega 23. I don't know if it's going to be live streamed or not. But anyway, man, if you want to go check it out, young athletes, maybe even some masters, I don't know, whoever gets a fight in this, but there's a lot of young athletes, and there are a lot of kids, a lot of people under 18 years old, a lot of people trying to hone their craft, trying to do something. And if you happen to be in the area, if you happen to have the time, step in, man, go say what's up, go check out a couple of fights, go check out the entire card. Go be rowdy, man. That's what they need. Go in there, be lively, be rowdy. I'm sure they're gonna have refreshments. Get some refreshments. Make a day of it or something like that. Make just a few hours of it. If you, there's a lot of people who, they fill up gyms and they fill up other cards and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, these amateur cards, man, they're just as good as anything else you'll see. And all this is just supporting your local boxers, your local boxing gyms, the state, and the LBC for Arizona, man. We only have one LBC here. One. It's not like California where they have like five. We've got one, and they try very hard, and they have to go between like Flagstaff, Yuma, Phoenix, and Tucson. That's hard. It's not easy to do. So I wanted to give a shout out. I won't be able to make this card, man. I'm on call this week, so I can't make it. But I want to try to help out as best I can. I will be attending some future shows, and I'll be putting those up here. All right. So like I said, man, Guerra en la Fornicana 3. Isaac Middle School, 3402 West McDowell. If you have a chance, that's on Saturday, February 21st. I'll try to keep you updated with other cards coming up. If you do want to see other cards coming up, you can look on Conquer Club, look up all the schedule, or you can go on the USA Boxing website and kind of navigate your way to the Arizona schedule. If not, you can just ask, man. Put it in the comments, and I'll answer you and let you know when the next ones are coming up, when the next tournaments are coming up, and things like that. I do know that there is a tournament coming up in April. I believe it's the 24th, 25th, and 26th. I believe I'll get it again. It's the Michael Carbajal, and this is one to plan for, the Michael Carbajal Classic Tournament. 3 days, and it's in the Phoenix area. I'll on the next one, man. I'll make sure I get the flyer up, or if I have it by the time I edit this out, man, I'll put the flyer up as well. So the Michael Carbajal Classic, I'm giving you fair warning. I didn't give you enough warning on this one, but I'm gonna give you fair warning on that Michael Carbajal Classic, man. It's gonna be a big event, a decent size event. It's gonna take a lot of resources. It's gonna take a lot of help, as far as like with all the volunteers and all the gyms, but it should be a hell of a show. So check that out, man. The Michael Carbajal Classic, and it's in April. I believe it's the 24th, 25th, and 26th. I'll have to double check. If not, I'll put up the poster on one side of me here, and you can kind of take a look at that, and then I will repeat this. I'll say it over and over again leading up to that. Not only that, I'm gonna get a schedule of all the shows and maybe put that out so everyone can see. So I'm not just trying to remember all this stuff. All right. Anyways, that's it for the show, man. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and try to check out that Ryan Garcia fight if you're so inclined, man. If not, watch the review. I'll review it and let you know what happened, why I didn't like it, who knows who did what. Ryan Garcia did this, did that, shenanigans. Mario Barrios kept it. We'll see what happens, man. I'll try to review that and let you know what's going on in the boxing world as far as Boots Ennis and Golden Boy and Ortiz. Hopefully they figure things out, and then we'll look forward to the next Zuffa card, and eventually getting to the Jayo Bataya fight, where he's gonna compete for the very first Zuffa cruiserweight title, and the first title at all that they're ever going to award. Hopefully it's not a draw and nothing ever gets awarded. We'll see what happens. But anyways, man, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the fights, or I'll see you at the gym. All right,